Hey guys, what's up? My name is Andy Crimson and welcome to Mukbangs and Hangs. This is an eating segment on my show where I share a meal with you guys and talk about what's been going on in my world. And right now, my world is heavily surrounding Ghost right now with their latest single, Satanized. But before we get into all the excitement of the latest release, I just want to present my dinner to you guys. I have a chicken primavera pasta with some pizza. It's a margarita pizza with pepperoni. And I've got my wine, so we're all set here. All right, so before we get into it, how the heck are you doing, Ghost fans? Because, oh my God, when there's just so much like information and new music and just everything all together, it can be kind of overwhelming in the best way. Even me, like sometimes I get a little emotional just thinking about the dawning of a new Ghost era. And I think this latest release, Satanized, has been really, really successful. I mean, I think the last time I checked the video, it must have been at 2.1 million views. It's probably almost closer to 3 right now. But I'm just so happy with the video, with the song. And I don't know, it just touched something in my soul every time I kept rewatching, re-listening to it. I want to get into a little bit, but first I want to give you all the first bite. If I can poke the chicken. Like that. All right, first bite of the chicken pasta primavera. What I love about this pasta, it's lightly sauced. It's not heavy on any like an Alfredo, even though I love chicken Alfredo. And it's got a lot of vegetables. It's got carrots, broccoli, bell peppers, and like zucchini squash. So juicy. You know, the reason why I was getting so emotional, like re-listening to Satanized, it was because of the main actor, the monk. He just brings such a sorrowfulness to this character, and I really, really felt for him when I went back and rewatched it. And I kind of identified with him in a little bit of a way. I just think he was just so brilliant in the music video, I should say. And speaking of, the first time I saw it, I did not realize that Tobias and crew are actually part of the music video. Tobias, of course, has like heavy like prosthetics, like to change his face, but the ghoulettes are pretty recognizable. And I thought that is such a fun thing to like, you know, include them, you know, after all so many years of being with the band. I really liked it. I don't know, maybe some people prefer it when the band was more anonymous, but there's also a nice touch learning who everybody is and maybe even supporting like their own personal projects, their own music. And speaking of the ghouls and ghoulettes, people noticed in the video that a certain ghoulette was not in the music video. So spoiler alert if you guys don't want to know, Mad Gallica, who is doubly known as Cumulus, she is not in the video. So people have speculated that she's not going to be part of the touring entourage. But someone else was spotted and recognized, and she's known as Gabriella Gunn on Instagram. She's a very, very talented singer. I first saw her in like some Ken Tamplin singing videos, and she's just, wow, she's a powerhouse, and I can't wait to see what she brings to the live shows. Oh, this is so sweet. I love red wine, but I prefer more on the sweet side. I mean, I can handle like a drier one, but this just goes down so much better. Check out this little peso. Yeah. Normally, I have ranch with my pizza, but this is good all by itself. It's so good. It's from this place called Mama's Pizzeria. Super good. And this is like my go-to, this pasta primavera with chicken and then this particular pizza. Perfect pairing. I'm about to put some Parmesan and red pepper. And so all this influx of information was paired with a lot of interviews with Tobias have been coming out, like just boom, 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 one right after the other. I tried to listen to all of them because I just find him so inspiring and interesting, and seeing what kind of information tidbits that we get released in each interview. And one in particular I really enjoyed today. He was on a podcast called Morbid Podcast, hosted by two women, and he just has like a different energy, I feel, sometimes when he's talking to women, and he was just so casual, and I love what they bring to the table, the way they ask questions and the type of questions they ask. It was so insightful. And something that I picked up on, you guys should go listen to it if you guys can find it. He was talking about the album and Papa 5, Perpetua, and he was saying that Papa Perpetua, while he's singing on the album, he's singing these songs, but he's not singing from his own experience. He said he was like pretending to be somebody else. So I thought that was really, really interesting. Whose songs are you singing? Who wrote them? I'm talking about as far as lore and story and characters. Another interview also revealed one of the song names. I think it's cenotaph. It's like a Latin word. And I think that one means like empty tomb or empty grave. So people have been spinning even more about like whose grave it could be. Why is it empty? Is it Terzo? Like, what's going on? Could this be a possibility for us? I'm just intrigued at what Papa 5 like represents. If he's like some kind of entity and he's not who we think he is, and he's pretending, and he's like a vessel for somebody else. And speaking of the new album, it drops April 25th, which I thought, I am the luckiest of the luckiest goulettes. That is 2 days before my birthday, so I thought perfect timing. But another thing that came to light with all these new interviews was the direction of the new album. And instead of these overarching themes of commentary of what's going on in the world, much like Impera was doing, it's more of a personal album. And I did a podcast interview with some friends like a while back, and that was one of my hopes. But more so on the character side, I had said like, I want an album that gives us more insight into who Copia is, his personal struggles, like just songs that I can really identify with on a personal level. Sometimes it goes above and beyond when you're talking about like social injustices or like just the state of the world in music. And don't get me wrong, Impera has great songs, but I think for me, I just really lean into the more personal side of songs. And so Tobias has said that this album focuses more on themes of like love, lust, anger, just very basic, maybe human struggles or human experiences. So I'm really looking forward to what we're going to be hearing. I'm probably going to cry because I am an emotional person, but I'm looking forward to it. Let's try some cheese. I'm a pizza girly through and through. Another thing that Tobias mentioned about the newest Papa is maybe he'll be less chatty than what we've been used to. And I kind of don't want him to like pull back the talking parts. And I was thinking, does he really talk that much during the live shows? I know there's banter in between songs and stuff. If anything, I think Papa 3 was more chatty because there was these whole sections of the show where they're just playing like on the keyboard and he's talking about the birds and the bees. So I don't know. I really hope he doesn't draw that back too much. I mean, I don't know what the vibe would have been like with a Papa 2 show, like less talkative, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. I did want a darker Papa, like as far as the mood. But I think there's something to be said about a frontman who can kind of engage with the audience and do the little quick one-liners and just keep us engaged. You don't want to be like too mysterious and too aloof to people. Some people might be more lost on that. Big broccoli. Mm. The good thing about this pasta is I don't feel guilty eating it because it's pretty healthy. Well, I think it's healthy. Mm. Mm. In one of the first interviews that came out after after Satanized came out, Tobias was talking about, you know, the state of the world a little bit, about dictators, people in power that may have had like opposing views and putting people down, you know, and talking about how one day those people are just going to be gone, and the people who were on their side and just like, yeah, whatever, you know, it's good to reach out the hand to them after all is said and done, because, you know, that's how the world heals, through love, compassion, and forgiveness. And I thought he said like a really great thing, and I was really honored to be a fan of his because of his stance on that. And I totally agree that, you know, while the world may be in turmoil and things are looking pretty bad for some people, when the new day dawns, like, animosity and grudges, they don't get us anywhere. It's just better to try to repair the bridges as you can, you know, because that's also part of being human. And just hearing him say that made me feel good to be a Ghost fan. Like, that is somebody I can support. So in other Ghost news, some people have already gotten their hands on the Sister Imperator comic. I think mine's going to be coming this weekend. I'm so down and excited for that because we're finally, hopefully, getting some lore answers with this whole Ghost saga. We'll finally get to understand, you know, who's who, what's what, where did Sister come from. So I pre-ordered that issue, and I think I've done all four of them already. Or I don't know if the fourth one is available yet for pre-order, but they're on their way eventually. I don't know, I thought about doing like a review or a little small recap, like a shorter video. I don't know, we'll see. You know, as time goes on, as I'm listening to Satanized and looking at all the new promo images for the new Papa and the Ghouls, the costumes are growing on me. Papa's a little bit more faster than the Ghouls and Ghoulettes, but I think I can get behind it. They do give a very cultish feel, which I like the dark energy around that. Oh, there's another interview coming out soon that I'm super interested for, because I think somebody did like a Tobias reacts to ghost characters in his universe, and he does commentary on them. And the preview that I saw, he was talking about the age difference between Papa 2 and Papa 3, and they might have different mothers. So I was like, you do know what's going on, you just didn't put it in right here, right now. Like, just to tie everything together. This meal slaps, guys. So good. Another part of the interviews that I had watched that made me emotional was when everybody's broaching the no phones topic for these ghost shows. And Tobias kind of explains that, you know, it's just he wants people to be in the moment. And I don't think I've ever been to a concert without my phone, save when I was maybe like 9 and then like early preteen. I didn't have a phone. So if I already feel like overwhelmed in a good way and emotional at a ghost show while I'm trying to capture footage, imagine not having that tool, that device, just to be completely absorbed and everything lives in my head. I just think it'll be so magical. And the way he was talking about it made me so like I was anticipating it, and I just got like really emotional thinking about it, just to be in that moment. And I can't wait. And I started to think about, what am I gonna wear? And every time I think, oh, I'm gonna do this kind of top and this long thing, it's like they're playing Houston in August. Granted, we'll be inside most of the time. It's gonna be hot. I can guarantee that. And it's like, I don't wanna be uncomfortable. And so I wanna find something in the middle that's kind of cute and stylish, on brand, on theme, but comfortable. That's why I can't wear my Doc Martens very longer in like a lot of places where I have to do a lot of walking, because eventually like my feet just don't like the boots. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish all of this. I feel like this month and April are gonna pass by so fast, and even for the rest of the year, because my show's not until August. And it already feels like we've waited a lifetime for this new album, this new tour, and it's just gonna come and go like that. And I'm like, don't want it to end. Another thing I had said on a previous video, and then something that Tobias said recently kind of coincided about the end of pop, like not the end of Ghost, but like if Tobias ever wanted to do something with like the film industry, he would have to put a pause probably on music because it's just too much going on. I can't get one noodle on here. Like it was very hard, he said, for him to be doing a live, like a movie and then trying to write an album. So I can kind of see some kind of pause if he ever got like an opportunity he wanted to like dabble in more into film. And just a pause on Ghost. And like, where does this, again, this brings up the subject of the repetitiveness. Like, where does it eventually end? It's not like you're Metallica and you can just show up and play in a t-shirt and there's no lore behind the band at all. Like, are we eventually getting Tobias unmasked? I don't think so, because even though the new Papa mask is like half a face, if that, that's the whole thing of Ghost. It's masks, it's costumes, it's theatrics. So I don't know. What do y'all think? Do you think at some point there will be a great pause? Or is the machine gonna keep turning? Now this was so good, guys. I'm gonna save some scraps for later because it's a lot of food. We'll do a last bite of this. Some broccoli and pasta, there's no more chicken. We got that. One little bite left of this pizza. I gotta give it a 10 out of 10, guys. With the wine that's chilled and sweet, it's perfect. 10 out of 10. So that's gonna be it for today's Mukbangs and Hangs, guys. Thank you so much for joining me with this meal and letting me yap about this new season of Ghost. Let me know if you've got any other theories going on in your head now that you've seen some new art, you've heard a new song, you've seen some interviews. Let me know what your thoughts are. And yeah, I'm just as excited as everybody else. So I guess I'll see y'all later. Bye.